I've tested a bunch of AR and XR glasses, and in this video, I'm going to be telling you guys the top 5 XR glasses you can currently buy in 2026. By making this video, I'm not going to be factoring glasses like the X-Real Aura because it's not officially out. And by also ranking these glasses, I'm not going to be factoring software that are not officially out yet. For example, I am testing the X-Real 1 Pro's hand gesture control, which means you can navigate with using just your hand, but because it's not officially out with to the public just yet, I'm not going to be factoring in when I'm ranking these glasses. By making this video, you should also know that this video is brought to you by my subscribers. I am not paid or sponsored by any of these companies to make this video. I'm making these videos because my subscribers have really literally helped grow this channel to where I have all these glasses, and I figured by making this video it could help someone else out there, and it's also good content to keep entertaining people that have been supporting me so far. We are at the brink of 10,000 subscribers, so yeah, let's get started with this video. These glasses are kind of heavy and I need a bigger stand because I still have 2 more that is not even up here. But yeah, let's get started with the video. Okay, so I have the list here. I have made independent review or video of each one of these glasses except for one. So if you want to see a full review and screen recordings of each one of these glasses, just go ahead on my channel or click on this playlist right here and you can watch any of the videos. So starting with number 5, I have the Viture Luma Pro. The reason why initially I was gonna give it to the Rokit Max 2. The reason why is because I feel like the Rokit Max 2 is actually underrated. The reason is because it has a 50 degrees field of view, it has a pretty good brightness, and of all the Brightback Optics displays that I've used on any glasses, the Rokit Max 2 had the least amount of reflection when you're using it in a bright or well lit environment. But the reason why I ended up switching it over to Viture is because the Luma Ultra has a 1200p display. It has a 52 degrees field of view. It also has diopters just like the Rokit Max 2, and on top of that it has a camera. So of course I had to give it to number 5, but I just felt like the Rokit was a honorable mention because now a whole lot of people are talking about it. Number 4, Raynier Air 4 Pro. The reason why the Raynier Air 4 Pro ends up in this spot is because at the price point, even though it doesn't have native 3DoF, at the price point is such a hard glasses to beat. It doesn't have the 1200p like the Viture Luma Luma Pro, but what it does it has an incredible display. It might be the best display of any XR glasses out there. It is a bit debatable, but it has incredible display. It sounds good, but the reason why it falls at number 4 is because it doesn't have native 3DoF, and of all the glasses here, it has by far the smallest field of view. So the only reason why it's even up here is because of that incredible display. Number 3, we have the Viture Luma Ultra. I have serious mixed feelings about these glasses. On one hand, it is one of the best looking AR glasses out there. I call it AR glasses because it has a camera, it's capable of 6DoF. It is hands down one of the best looking glasses out there. And when I talked about how good the Raynier's Air 4 Pro display looks, man, I think that the Luma Ultra's displays are seriously underrated because they really look good. In fact, I think they look just as good as Raynier's displays. The colors are a little bit different and it is subjective, but the displays look incredible. They have 6DoF capabilities, although you have to use another form of software. And the biggest thing about these glasses is they are extremely flimsy. My first time unboxing these glasses, I was like, oh my God, they were shaky. And within a couple of days, it felt like they just were much looser. And I don't sleep with those glasses, so I couldn't understand it. On Amazon, they had some of the lowest reviews of any glasses released recently. That's the Luma Ultra. But with the software, it has so much more capability, especially when you are using the in-ear pod. It just unlocks so much from it. The reason why I said I have mixed feelings about these glasses is because of Viture's advertisement, right? They have a way of advertising that just feels a bit deceptive. I understand they are trying to make money and they are trying to get people into the ecosystem to buy it, but underestimating people's intelligence is just a losing strategy, because when we put these glasses on, it's like, all right, now, come on now, 4K like display, the display is not even 2K. What is 4K like? Anyway, let me stop there because I've already made a video. Number 2, we have the Vicha Beast and the X-Real 1 Pro. So I went back and forth between these two glasses. As a matter of fact, these are the two glasses right here. So this is the Vicha Beast, which you can see right here, and this is the X-Real 1 Pro. They have the flat prism optics, and this optics is basically going to be the future of the displays for this, you know, AR XR glasses. In about 3 or 4 years or so, nobody but Raynier is going to be using Burnt-Back optics, because Raynier is going to be the last. They're still going to have an incredible display, but it's going to be Burnt-Back optics. They're still using 46 degrees field of view. Everyone else is using 52, 57, 58. Anyways, the reason why I have them as a tie is because, let me read off my script here so that I remember. So for me personally, one of them is a clearly better device, but I have to factor in, you know, other people's use cases, and based on what the comments that I see in the comment section, what people want, what they want to do. Not everyone does what I do. So the 1 Pro has 57 degrees field of view, you know, flat prisms, 1080p displays. The Vicha Beast has 58 degrees field of view, 1200p, and it has a 16:10 aspect ratio. Vicha just did an update where they actually finally enabled that 1200p, but along with that, they added the 16:10 aspect ratio. And boy, I must tell you, I do see the difference. Like, the field of view and that aspect ratio definitely puts it over the 1 Pro in terms of like the real estate of the content you can see. The Beast is definitely superior in that aspect. The reason why I can't put the Beast over the 1 Pro is because there is not a single thing that the Vicha Beast does that the 1 Pro doesn't do. But there is a bunch of things that the 1 Pro can do that the Beast cannot do. Not only does the X-Real 1 Pro have ultra wide mode, it has super ultra wide mode and the ultra wide mode. These are two different aspect ratios. And then on top of that, it has a portrait mode. So you can, for example, if you like to edit videos, you might decide you want to use the super ultra wide mode. And something that I've noticed in the super ultra wide mode of the 1 Pro and Beast is the Beast, right? It curves, but when you're looking at it, it feels like the display is away from you at the end. Whereas with the 1 Pro, it curves more towards you, so that no matter where you're looking, it still feels like the display is sort of facing you. That might just be a personal preference, you know, but the thing is, you can choose different screen sizes based on what you need, right? If you like to do maybe coding, or maybe there are certain games that you want to play, or maybe there's a certain aspect ratio like Word doc that requires that portrait aspect ratio, 1 Pro has that option. With the Beast, you don't have that option. 1 Pro also have native 2D to 3D conversion. If I want to connect my glasses to just a whole bunch of different things, it just works, and most of the time you can toggle in 2D to 3D conversion. I just don't have that limitation. With the 1 Beast, I don't have the option to just get 3D no matter the device. I have to use specific devices. And then when it comes to connectivity, right, what I've started to find out is every now and then with the Beast, I would have connection issues. For example, the DJI RC2 controller, you know, I understand not a lot of people fly drones or do real estate and use, you know, certain cameras for displays. With me, I like to do that, and the Beast sometimes would not work. Like with the RC2, it hasn't worked at all. Now there is a kind of like a workaround, which is having a power adapter and just doing a bunch of, that is just way too much just to get it to work. Whereas with the 1 Pro, is just a quick plug and play. The chip in the 1 Pro is just a lot more powerful than what Vicha has. And based on what the One Pro is doing, like the hand control, yeah, the One Pro's chip is definitely superior to the Beast. But the Beast has so many good things working in its favor as well. For one, the increased brightness. The brightness is just, it is noticeable. The 16 by 10 aspect ratio. Now, I don't use a singular, a 16 by 10 aspect ratio often, but whenever I want to use it, that option is there. And it has a built-in camera. With the built-in camera, it is still cheaper than the One Pro. So for me personally, like 8 out of 10 times, I will pick the One Pro. But I can understand why some people would actually choose the Beast. Now we're getting to a point where it feels more like a personal preference rather than something that you can definitively say is better. And now we get to the number one, which is my favorite glasses of all time, the X-Real 1S. I have also been using the hand gesture with these glasses. It basically does everything that the X-Real 1 Pro does. It is very bright, it's super sharp, sharper than the One Pro and the Beast. It has a 16 by 10 aspect ratio just like the Beast. The 3 dove is stable, the 6 dove is stable when there's plenty of light. It sounds incredible. The weight is good, it doesn't get hot, it looks beautiful. It's just the best glasses ever made. And on top of that, it is significantly cheaper than the Beast or the One Pro. This is the best bang for your buck. It is cheaper, it looks good, it has 1200p display. I mean, I can't say enough about these glasses, man. It is fantastic. It has the AI 2D to 3D conversion. The sound is incredible. It feels very premium. There is nothing cheap about it. It is both lighter in weight than the One Pro and the Beast. I really love these glasses right here. Obviously, I have access to all these glasses, but this is the glasses I pick 9 out of 10 times, honestly. Anyway, if you disagree, let me know what your top 5 glasses are. If you haven't used up to 5 glasses just yet, let me know whatever it is that you prefer right now. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I absolutely love and appreciate every one of you guys. Thank you so much for the support. We are this close to 10,000. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.